Hi, this is Brad with Copper Creek Cuts, a lawn care company in Northeast Florida. You've seen me using the backpack sprayer from Petra, the HD4000. This is something that you would use, in this case that you see here, I'm applying chlorinating liquid for pressure washing, basically bleach. You might also use this in the lawn care industry for glyphosate or any other type of herbicide, maybe like a liquid chelated iron for lawns to green them up. There's all kind of different uses, but when we look at the product itself, the angle we're looking at is from the back and the top. We can see we do have a little measuring cup here. It's got an O-ring so you can actually store some liquid or granular product. Here's your main fill. This has a diaphragm so that it can breathe, and it also has a strainer basket to filter out any particulates and what you put in there. There's also another small filter down there at the bottom. You can see it's filled with just water right now. But these different ports allow you to fill different things, whether it's liquid or granulated, give you a couple different options. Down here at the bottom is the battery compartment. It's held in place by a Velcro strap that wraps around the battery. You can see it's just a simple rechargeable battery. We've got our 2 leads. We do see some wiring behind there. Notice also the raised tracks there. The battery sits in those tracks. Here's the battery information. The battery sits in those tracks, and once it's strapped in, it doesn't really move anywhere at all. Sliding the battery in, you can see once we clear those wires, it sits in those tracks, and then we Velcro it back up. Much easier with 2 hands when you're not filming. But that's enough to keep that battery from moving around anywhere. On one of the sides, we've got a clip for your wand to keep it from just laying on the ground or the truck, wherever you've got it. Here we have our outlet to our blue hose. Hose is a little bit short, but it works fine for what we need down to our handle. One thing I like about the Petra is that it's got their support number right on the product. I think that's nice. When we come around to this side, we've got our plug for recharging the battery. We have our fuse, which is easily replaceable. This little knockout here, I'm sure that's used for something else in another model or an option for something, but on this model it's non-functional. And then we have our on-off switch, which you can adjust it to variable control or just turn it all the way to full blast. You'll notice there's also a meter in the front that should give you an indication of the battery life. And the straps are not the most luxurious thing in the world, but they work fine for what you're doing. What I normally use is this plastic fan nozzle. It works really well for applying bleach and it doesn't corrode because it's plastic. You can extend this wand if you turn this guy right here to loosen it up. Pull it out, then you can extend that by another foot or 18 inches or so to give you some extra reach. It makes it a lot more comfortable when you're spraying something like a driveway. This is the setting and spray I normally use, so you can see how it coats the driveway pretty quickly. The other thing that's really nice with Petra is they send you a ton of accessories. So of course you have your charger, extra fuses and gaskets, you've got Teflon tape. Then they give you all kind of nozzles that you can use depending on your situation. So this is like a double cup spray. I don't know if that's the technical term for it. You've got a brass nozzle that can change between a spray and a stream. It actually shoots out pretty far. I think this was something like 15, 20 feet away. There's a plastic stream or spray counterpart. Then there's like this little flower thing that can shoot out a mega mist kind of thing to really saturate something, or you can tighten it down to get some streams that'll actually spray a decent distance. It's held up well. The batteries haven't given me any issues. You can let it sit for a long time and that battery will still maintain its charge. Now, to be completely transparent, they did send it to me at no cost, and I have only had it for maybe, I don't know, 3 or 4 months at this point. So I can't speak to its longevity. I'll certainly be more than happy to do long-term reviews as time progresses, but at least my first impressions, you know, the first half dozen jobs I've used it on, it's worked great. There haven't been any issues. The other thing that people might ask is, why do I even need one? I've got a manual one that's much, much cheaper. And yeah, I mean, if you don't care anything about doing things as quickly as possible or as efficiently as possible, a manual sprayer is gonna work fine. But if you do this for any length of time, I'm telling you, it's only gonna take one job for you to say, I wish I would have done this sooner, because it's just so much nicer not having to manually pump the whole time you're spraying. It's a night and day difference that I don't think anyone will fully appreciate until they experience it for themselves. So if you're sitting there saying, you're crazy for spending hundreds of dollars on a battery sprayer, I get it. I was the same way until I tried it, and then I'm like, oh, okay, this is why it's worth the extra money. So I do think it's something where if you just give it a shot, you'll like it a lot. But if you've got any more questions, there'll be some information down in the description. Thank you so much for watching. I really do appreciate it.